getting started on some vegetables and leafy vegetables and some herbs in these little planters. This one just got planted, so nothing's come up yet. And it's going to have seasoning celery, which is a type that you grow to use almost like an herb as opposed to using it like a vegetable. And just some radishes to mark that stuff's there. This is some Swiss chard. I've got some small sages waiting for them to get bigger. A couple of different types of thyme. And then some kale. My niece and nephew got out and cleaned up a lot of the overgrown Biden's Alba that was around the banana circle. My little Rosal hibiscus here is doing really well, even though it's still kind of small. We're getting a lot of buds on it for the calyxes. And the butterfly plant or milkweed is really popping up. There is another little hibiscus in here, right there. I think I've got one more in here. Where it is. Yep. And there's the last one, the last little hibiscus. And also that pup that I kept saying I was going to move. I finally dug it up and moved it. I've got a post to keep it propped up until it roots. It's going to be a little bit cooler with a lot of rain over the next few days, which is why I moved it last night, or rather Sunday night, to take advantage of that weather. That'll help it recover from root shock and then root itself. This little bed's been growing for a few weeks. It has red stripe amaranth, some okras that I had around. These are the same age as the ones in the other bed, but they didn't get transplanted out until fairly recently. There are some beans in here. That's actually a French variety for the little harcourt vert. And I've got one false rosal that's coming up. It's growing pretty quick too. There's some radishes in here. These radishes are a daikon type. They're called buster radishes. This is a type of edible gourd. I believe it's pronounced Cucuzelle. I'll have to look it up to be sure. But they're getting quite a few of them, of the fruits set. The thing that I think is kind of cool about these is they seem to flower in the evening. And I'll tell you why that's important in just a moment. But we got a lot of fruit on here, and it looks like some of it's going to be ready to pick pretty soon. On the Cucuzelle, the flowers are all closed up because that plant seems to flower in the evenings and overnight, late afternoon, evening, while this, which is a loofah, flowers in the morning. So hopefully those two won't cross-pollinate because they flower at different times. This is a bottle gourd. It came up as a surprise. I had put a couple of seeds for bottle gourd into starter pots, and they never came up. So I'd pretty much given up on it. And then I came along one day and this thing was growing. I was like, okay. I still have it in a little starter pot. I need to get it planted in something bigger or planted in the ground or something. It's going to need some room though. This thing's going to be enormous. I also have a couple of brown turkey figs. There's this one that I've had for a while, and then this little one that's just getting started. Those also need to be transplanted into something bigger. These are starts and smaller plants. I have some thymes and some dill. Candlestick cassia, Roma tomatoes, a couple of basils, a little bit more of the thyme. This is super rapini or broccoli rabe seedlings, and some papaya seedlings.